Hi, good morning. Happy Saturday. I wanted to show you I finished this book and I'm really excited about it. I made a closure with out of lace and a mother of pearl slide, which I love to use because you can adjust how much space you have. I don't know about you, but I love to add things to my journals, so I like having something adjustable like that. And I also think the mother of pearl is really pretty. So I did get a lot of compliments on this book cover. What can a woman do? And I'm sure we're all thinking off the top of our head of millions and millions of things. So let's go inside. And I have used papers, coffee dyed papers that I got from Renee at G&T Designs. Renee makes the most beautiful papers, and they're just a tad bit thicker, so they hold up really well. There's a lot of variety in them, as you'll see going through the book. I love to use her for the bigger pieces because I just don't have the room myself. Probably not the patience either. That's going to probably be one of my Lenten focuses. I made this pocket out of the end page from the original book. I don't know if you can see, there's some little leaves in the background there. And then I picked that up with leaves on this piece of antique netted lace. And then another piece of antique lace along the border here with those pretty little raised dots on there. And then this background paper that I got from Red Cottage on Etsy. I normally get old book covers from her. She has some cool stuff, but she makes this paper and I loved the colors in it. So I grabbed that from her this time as well, and I thought it looked pretty in here. This card is from the lace from Jane Morton's Yellow Dress. Jane was the daughter of Mark Morton, founder of the Morton Salt Company. Talks about the family, but here's pieces from the neck, the front, and the sleeve of the dress. This actually, I purchased this on a big card that had the handwriting on it. I copied that onto this. So it's word for word what was on there. And I put some linen from an antique, or well, actually a vintage towel over some cardstock and some lace on the back to preserve this. But I thought, you know, taking little snippets off of the dress and sharing them with people that will appreciate them is a great way to preserve it, to preserve the history of it. This is an actual book page or a cutout of one of the book pages, The Profession of Journalism, and this lovely lady. And her name is Miss Addie Tucker. And I don't know if she was a journalist, but I thought she looked beautiful, and I thought she looked like she could be a journalist. So I made this little lace pocket to tuck her into. And then we've got more great papers. And then we have gardening, also a book page. Beautiful font, huh? And this really looks nice with this lady here who is standing in what I'm assuming is her garden. She looks very proud to be there. I sewed her to the book page. I've got some flora in the background here, and I have another lady in her garden with another piece of the end paper from the book that I punched on the edge just to make a tab to slide her in and out. And then I have these wonderful, wonderful papers from Pam Cass. These echo dyed papers. As Pam well knows, I hoard these because I love them so much and I don't ever want to run out of them. So when she has them, I always buy some of her originals and I use them very sparingly. Look at that. So that I don't run out. I'm very blessed because between her and my dear friend Colleen Brady, I have an excess supply of echo dyed papers, and I'm looking forward to spring and making some beautiful journals out of them. Here is my great Aunt Elsie. This is a cut out of the book, Suitable Employment for Women. I thought that was appropriate with the outfit she's wearing. Going off to the office, she actually did work in an office. She also worked for my great-grandfather, who was a construction worker. I'm assuming this was in the 30s. She graduated in 32. So I glued her to fabric so she's flexible. And this lined paper because I'm assuming she was working in the office. I just thought that was kind of fun. And then we have another lady who we have a name of Pearl Miller Hicks. Isn't Pearl awesome? She's very bohemian looking with her outfit. I just love her. I do have a scan of her so I can continue to use her, but this is the original postcard that she was on. And then this beautiful beading. It's from a 1920s dress, a silk dress. There's still remnants of silk. I have a pile of these beads from the dress. Somebody was smart enough and wonderful enough to salvage, and I was able to get those. And then we have the profession of medicine. And these very fun nurses graduating from nursing school, I'm assuming, or at least in nursing school together. And I have this postcard of this nurse as well. And I just made a little tab for her out of some vintage ribbon. And this little envelope that I made out of a quilt top with lots of feed sack fabrics on it. I don't know how old it is. I'm assuming probably 30s. And inside of it, I tucked this little lace. It's a remnant from a lace sample book. I'm assuming it was part of a bigger book. I had a couple pages of it that I found. Look at this one. Isn't this amazing? These are all really amazing. But what a great way to salvage this. So I just thought it was a nice place to tuck it inside. Nice little surprise in there. Some more great pages. I'm assuming a high school graduation picture. Could be college. Either way, they might be college. They look a little older. This beautiful tatting, isn't it lovely? I thought it was a really nice offset to the grass, and it was very feminine. And I added 2 high school graduation pictures. This is, again, my great Aunt Elsie, 1932, from West Tech High School. And this is her sister, who is my grandmother, in 1934, also West Tech High School. I use Grandma's picture quite a bit because she's so beautiful. I've used this before too in some journal cards. I love this photo. I love that they're holding their needlework, but I really love, it says my wife is the only one that has no work to show. I don't know if he understands that it looks to me like she was hosting all these ladies, which meant a lot of cooking and cleaning up afterward, but I just thought that was kind of funny that he would say that. I hope he was being silly. I truly do. This pretty little heart that looks crocheted to me. I have one more of these, so I'm probably going to copy it. I had a couple ideas from a friend on how I might preserve it and use it for other things. So I also have dressmakers and dressmaking. And here's a little card I made with the measurements and a little tape measure for the tab. And some more of this pretty sheer lace with the dots on it. Look how fun these pages are. All right, so this is one of my favorite finds ever. Like I said, the history just thrills me. This is Ruth from 1915 to 16. So these are remnants from the clothes that she wore that year. And it's really obvious when you start reading the notes that these were attached to, that her mother very lovingly saved their fabrics, remnants of their fabrics from their clothes every year, Ruth and her sister Florence. And here's a copy of the note for Ruth's dress. The second year they were in the academy, 1915 to 1916. And she explains what each of the fabrics are used for. My understanding from the woman I purchased these from is she's assuming they were in Kansas, in Smith County. I did purchase some more of these fabric packs from her. I'm waiting for those to come, but I just love them and I have ideas, as you know I frequently do. Let's see. So this is Florence's, the first year they were in college, 1921 to 22. And I used this vintage tablecloth remnants with a cross stitch on them to tuck them in pockets. These I also used part of that vintage toweling for the background. More of the coffee dyed paper. And these lovely ladies are also my great aunts. I think this is Aunt Elsie. And this is Aunt May. I'm sure that's Aunt May. And I don't know what they're doing. I don't have a clue. But whatever they're doing, you can tell they're having fun, as they always did. And this one is Women of Enterprise. So I thought that was really a fun way to highlight that photo, which I think is just really awesome. They've got those big wading boots on. See the railroad in the background. And I use these laces that kind of bring out the tracks here. And then we've got just a piece, you'll see on the other side of this, there's another lace sample. Look at that. I love this, Renee. I love these. Here's an envelope that I sewed in. This lady is Camilla Myers, and so she's got her name in here. This is just a antique envelope. I don't know how old it is. The writing is just gorgeous on it. I thought it looked beautiful in there. And this lady, June of 1915, Gladys Wally. She looks she's got a little bit of water damage, but I thought it was worth salvaging because it looked really nice in here. And then some antique calling cards to just give it some color. And then here's the other side of that little red piece of cardboard with a piece that looks like a collar sewn onto it. This is one of, I love it when they look like this. Okay, this lady, I love her. So I found her photo on eBay. And I'm going to read it from here because I covered it in lace and my eyes aren't that good, so I want to make sure I can read it well. But this is Lady Townshend, who has been active in building unique hotels in London and is planning to construct a chain of these for the workers of England. The hotels have community kitchens and single rooms especially suited for the working girl. So, and this is dated September 16th, 1925. It looks like a press photo. So I wanted to highlight her because I thought she's very intriguing and strong woman. Made her a little pocket, covered it in some netting. There's a piece of that beading from the other page. Another piece of antique lace here and another piece of antique lace here. I was really excited about finding her. And then here's a little card I made out of a sample. I have more of this also. This tatting was made by my grandmother, Mary Ann Rebecca, not mine, but that's the note that I found on it. I had it on a bright yellow dress that my mother made. It buttoned down the front. I was about 6 years old, 1936. Very fun. And then here's somebody else's grandma, Julia Davis, who made this trim for pillowcases. She made this along with a pair of feather pillows for our wedding present. Very nice, huh? So I used edging from a vintage pillowcase and some vintage tatting to make a little tuck spot for those two. And then we're almost there, I promise. I could go on all day with this one because I just love everything in it. Look at these ladies doing the laundry. I don't know if they work for the laundry or they work in a house as maids, but I wanted to give them a little bit of lace and cheer them up a little bit. This is also from the book, but it has a little bit of writing about how women cannot choose for herself the profession, how hard that is, basically. And so I thought this was a nice contrast. This little girl dressed up, feeling good about herself. Nice contrast to these girls working so hard in their uniforms. Look at that great paper. And then here's a ballerina, an old photo that I had. I made a copy of her. This, obviously, the profession of music. I took a piece of a book page from a music book. This is The Maiden of Sandomir. And I know the person who will be receiving this journal is a musician, so she can tuck whatever she wants in there. And then a couple more great pieces I found. These pillowcase edgings were made by George Tewksbury's mother, Adeline, before 1896. And in some way they were related, I believe, to the Morton salt people. So got these in here as well because I had cards from them. That was another one of the cards that I got. And then this was the third card I purchased. This says used by Lottie Maybanks and Mary Ween about 1930. Lottie Tewksbury's handbag pattern. I believe that Mary Ween was a relative of the Tewksburys and was also related to the Mortons, if I read it all correctly. But then I have this paper back here as well. And that, my friends, is this big 2+ inch spine journal. And I had such a wonderful time making it, and I'm so thrilled to be showing it to you. Thanks for watching. Bye.